Y'all, what in the Mona Scott-constructed multiverse of mess is going on over at Love and Hip Hop? Because if the latest whispers from the streets are even half true, we're no longer dealing with drama, we're dealing with a full-blown, paternity-powered scandal explosion. Stevie J. Yes, the Stevie J, the man who once turned a love triangle into a career, has allegedly just done the unthinkable. Knocked up Bambi. Yes, Bambi. Lil Scrappy's on-again-off-again wife, reality TV crybaby, and shade-throwing ninja of Atlanta. Let's get this straight. Did Stevie J really slide into Scrappy's home and his wife? Did Bambi really need a DNA test to figure out whose baby she's carrying? And is it true that Lil Scrappy completely lost Eton Kemmer after? The paternity results were leaked. Because if the tea is this hot, we're gonna need hazmat suits, not teacups, secret meets, leaked lab documents, a cast member spiraling into chaos on set. Baby, you're not ready for this timeline-shattering, betrayal-fueled, DNA-confirmed disaster. Grab your popcorn, clutch your pearls, and buckle up. Because this ain't just a scandal, this is reality TV carnage. Let's get into it. Asterisk, so how did we even get here? How did we go from baby showers and reality TV reunions to leaked lab results and full-blown meltdowns that have producers sprinting off set? Because what's unraveling behind the scenes of Love and Hip Hop isn't just a scandal, it's a full-on betrayal saga with enough plot twists to make Shonda Rhimes blink. Word on the street is Stevie J.S. That Stevie, the chaotic legend with a baby mama in every franchise and a history of turning drama into dividends, has allegedly impregnated Bambi. Let that sink in. Bambi, the same woman who was all booed up with Lil Scrappy, grinning for family photos like their storyline wasn't hanging on by a thread. And now, according to a DNA test that was never supposed to see the light of day, Stevie J might be the baby's father. The streets didn't whisper this one, they screamed it. Insiders close to production are calling this the most explosive betrayal in franchise history. And that's saying something. Apparently, this all started months ago when Scrappy and Bambi were trying to work it out vibes. There were arguments, sure. Passive-aggressive posts, definitely. But nothing, absolutely nothing prepared fans or the cast for what would come next. Because behind the scenes, while Bambi was out here presenting herself as the ever-loyal wife trying to keep her family together, she was allegedly engaging in a series of secret meets with none other than Stevie J. Yes, it's the same man who made Mimi Faust look like a fool with that infamous shower rod scandal. It's the same man who turned Joe's line into the villain and the victim in the same breath. Now he's allegedly been sneaking around with Scrappy's wife. Not for a feature or a cameo, no, for something far more permanent. A child. Sources from both camps are painting a picture so wild it sounds scripted. But we all know this. Franchise doesn't need writers. The cast lives in chaos. Apparently, Bambi had been disappearing for hours during production days, giving excuses like needing to clear her head or take a nap. Meanwhile, Stevie was spotted in hotel lobbies at odd hours, ducking cameras like he owed child support in 4 states. Producers allegedly began noticing strange behavior. Stevie and Bambi avoiding each other too, obviously, or shooting glances that screamed guilt. But no one could have imagined the truth. Then came the real shocker. Lab report, allegedly ordered by Bambi in secret, showed a 99.99% DNA match between Stevie J and her unborn child. This report, according to insiders, was supposed to be locked down tighter than Mona Scott's reunion scripts. But someone, possibly a disgruntled crew member or a castmate with an axe to grind, leaked the results to a well-known gossip blog. The caption, simple and savage: "He's the daddy." And just like that, the internet imploded. The fallout was instant. Scrappy, who had apparently been suspicious for weeks, was on set filming a confessional when he got the news. Eyewitnesses say he ripped off his mic, threw a water bottle at the camera, and stormed out yelling, "I knew it." He then reportedly drove off set with his phone turned off and hasn't spoken to producers since. His social media wiped clean. He unfollowed Bambi, deleted every photo of her, has been dropping cryptic posts that scream heartbreak and betrayal. But wait, gets messier. A hairstylist who worked with Bambi recently claims she overheard a phone call where Bambi was, whispering frantically about covering her tracks and hoping the baby doesn't come out looking too much like Stevie. That's not something you say when you're confident about who the father is. Fans, of course, have taken this and run with it, digging through old footage and Instagram lives looking for signs like they're the FBI of reality TV. And the evidence is stacking up. Remember when Bambi started posting vague spiritual quotes and deleting comments under her pregnancy announcement? Or when Stevie suddenly went radio silent just as the news broke? That wasn't just coincidence. According to sources, Mona Scott and the production team have been scrambling behind the scenes to do damage control. Emergency meetings were called. Editors were instructed to scrub any suspicious glances or odd background audio that might hint. The affair had been going on for months. But fans are quicker than post-production. And the screenshots are already circulating. As if that wasn't enough chaos for one storyline. People close to the situation are claiming that this wasn't just some late-night slip-up. It was calculated, deliberate. That Bambi, allegedly feeling sidelined and irrelevant in the current season, saw Stevie J as a way to lock in her camera time. 'Cause what guarantees relevance faster than a baby and a betrayal? One production. Assistant even claimed she knew her scenes were dry. This baby drama guaranteed her a storyline. And let's be honest, Love and Hip Hop has never met a scandal it didn't milk dry. The reaction online has been nuclear. Fans are dragging Bambi from every angle. Some are calling her Bam Bam, the baby mama, while others are saying she pulled a classic reality TV move. Get pregnant for plot protection. Stevie J, meanwhile, is being roasted like Sunday dinner. One viral comment read, "If toxicity had a face, it would be Stevie J holding a paternity test and a bottle." Another said, "This man's sperm got more spin-offs than the Avengers." The jokes are brutal, but the damage is real. And while social media was eating the scandal alive, another curveball hit. Erica Dixon, Scrappy's ex and longtime Bambi nemesis, posted a shady Instagram story with a single clown emoji and the words, "Told y'all, but I'ma mind my business." You know what that means? Erica's been waiting for this moment. Like it was Christmas morning, and now the whole internet is watching to see if she and Scrappy spin the block and reignite that old flame. Word is, Scrappy was spotted pulling up to Erica's house 2 nights ago looking emotionally wrecked and low-key desperate for support. Meanwhile, Mona is allegedly pausing production on other shows just to handle this disaster. Nothing's being filmed until they figure out what to do next. And it's not just the love triangle throwing everything into chaos. Behind the scenes, producers are scared. If this story escalates any further, legal issues could follow. Word is Scrappy's camp is considering action against the show for emotional distress and invasion of privacy, especially if it turns out cameras caught any private moments between Bambi and Stevie inside Scrappy's home. Yes, you heard that right, his home. Because apparently, at least one alleged hookup went down while Bambi was still living under the same roof as Scrappy. Now, there's even talk that Mama D is preparing to do an exclusive interview. And if there's one person who's not going to hold back, it's her. A producer allegedly said, if Mama D opens her mouth on this, everything's going to explode. She knows too much. And with Stevie ghosting everyone, not answering calls, and rumored to have lawyered up with a crisis PR team, this scandal is nowhere near done. In fact, insiders say this is just the tip of the iceberg. What's coming next could be darker, deeper, and more destructive than anyone thought. While Stevie J continues to vanish from the public eye like he's suddenly entered witness protection, the fallout from this scandal is only intensifying behind the scenes. Scrappy, who once tried to play the role of calm, collected family man, is now reportedly spiraling in ways that have producers genuinely worried for his mental health. Close friends say he hasn't been eating, hasn't been sleeping, and has been drowning his anger in liquor and isolation. One person who claims to have visited him recently said the man looks like a ghost, walking around his house in silence, replaying old videos of him and Bambi with their kids like some tragic romance montage. So the betrayal didn't just hurt, humiliated him on a national scale. Because it's one thing to be cheated on. It's a whole different level of soul-crushing to find out the man your wife was sneaking around with is someone who shares your same TV credits, your same green rooms, and your same fake producer hugs after reunion specials. Not just personal, it's political. Stevie J didn't just cross a line, he burned the whole map. Now insiders are claiming that there's even more footage than anyone expected. Apparently, hidden camera angles from unused confessionals, B-roll, and background surveillance have shown cryptic clues, awkward silences, lingering stares, body language that, in hindsight, now screams guilt. Some of these moments allegedly include Bambi and Stevie having off-camera conversations, catching eye contact during group scenes, and even standing too close during rap parties. Producers are scrambling to edit around these clips, but some believe that even with the edits, too much has already slipped through. Fans are now going back and watching old episodes with fresh eyes, dissecting every interaction for clues, turning love and hip-hop into a forensic crime scene. One particularly viral theory points to a backstage reunion clip where Bambi says she doesn't trust many people in the cast, and Stevie J subtly smirks in the background. At the time, it seemed like nothing. Now, it's being treated like a breadcrumb from the betrayal trail. To make matters even more complicated, legal drama is brewing beneath the surface. Scrappy's legal team is reportedly investigating whether his home, where the alleged affair may have occurred, was filmed without his knowledge. If it true, it could trigger lawsuits around invasion of privacy and emotional damage, especially since producers allegedly knew about the affair weeks before the DNA results leaked. That's not just shady, that's potentially criminal. And while Mona Scott has built an empire off chaos, this is a level of exposure she never anticipated. People inside the franchise say Mona is furious not because of the affair, but because the timeline of its exposure wasn't controlled. The plan, allegedly, was to build up to the paternity twist for the reunion special, with cast reactions captured in real time and edited into dramatic gold. But with the leaked results, that plan collapsed. Now, instead of controlling the narrative, the production is chasing it like a runaway train. Meanwhile, Bambi has gone completely silent. No posts, no comments, no explanations. Just radio silence and speculation. The last thing she shared a black screen on her Instagram story with a vague quote about people only apologizing when they get caught has only fueled the fire. Fans are flooding her comment sections with questions she refuses to answer. And to make matters worse, people close to her are starting to talk. A makeup artist who worked with her a few weeks ago says Bambi seemed unusually nervous constantly, checking her phone, whispering about how it was going to come out sooner or later. Another stylist claims Bambi even joked offhandedly about how everybody's got skeletons. Mine just dance in front of the cameras. It was said like a punchline, but now it reads like a confession. And while the world watches this drama unfold, something even more disturbing has emerged. A new rumor is spreading across Reddit and fan blogs, suggesting that this pregnancy may not have been an accident at all. According to one anonymous poster claiming to be a former production assistant, Bambi allegedly pitched a storyline to producers months ago involving a shocking twist that would guarantee her relevance. When the producers passed on, she supposedly went rogue. The theory that Bambi deliberately orchestrated this entire situation to force her way back into the center of the narrative. If true, that would mean the affair, the pregnancy, the secrecy was all strategic. Not just messy, but methodical. Fans are now calling it a masterclass in reality TV survival, even as they drag her for crossing moral lines that few dare touch. On Stevie's end, the silence is deafening. Those who know him say he's not hiding out because he's ashamed, but because his legal team has told him to lock it down. Apparently, cease and desist letters have already been sent out to multiple gossip blogs demanding they remove the leaked DNA documents and any references to the affair. But it's too late. The screenshots are everywhere. The public court of opinion has already rendered its judgment, and it's not in Stevie's favor. One fan posted Stevie J's got more kids than plot lines, and somehow every one of them ends in heartbreak. Others are calling this karma from his Jocelyn days, suggesting that he's finally getting a taste of the pain he's caused for years. And in the background of all this, the love and hip-hop brand itself is teetering on the edge. With one of its main couples in ruins, a potential lawsuit looming, and the risk of cast members walking out, the production team is facing its most chaotic crisis in over a decade. As the dust continues to swirl around this unfolding disaster, insiders now say that the entire production of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is operating under extreme lockdown, with cast and crew reportedly under strict orders not to speak publicly or leak any more information. NDAs are being reinforced, scenes are being pulled, and all confessionals are currently being reshot to reflect the chaotic timeline that has unraveled since the DNA bombshell went public. Mona Scott, who once prided herself on knowing how to ride the wave of drama, is allegedly in panic mode, furious that the scandal exploded before it could be framed the way producers intended. Sources close to production say she feels blindsided. Not by the affair itself, because, let's be honest, no one's shocked Stevie J dipped his toe in the mess, but by how fast it all leaked and how uncontrollable the narrative has become. Every effort to contain the damage has failed. Even the legal threats aren't working. Bloggers are refusing to remove posts. Clips are being reposted faster than they can be flagged. Then fans are demanding answers in a frenzy unlike anything the franchise has seen in years. At the center of all this is Lil Scrappy, whose emotional state has reportedly deteriorated to the point that castmates are concerned for his well-being. He's allegedly turned down all offers to return to set, ignoring calls, ghosting producers, and even threatening to quit the show altogether unless a full apology is issued and certain people are removed from filming permanently. This isn't just a tantrum. People close to him say he feels used, manipulated, and violated not just by Bambi, but by the very show that claimed to follow his real life while allegedly hiding the most humiliating betrayal of all. Word is, his legal team is gathering evidence for a potential lawsuit that accuses the network of knowingly filming around a scandal that directly impacted his personal life without his knowledge or consent. And if that footage really does exist, clips of Stevie J and Bambi interacting in Scrappy's house, or even whispering about keeping things quiet, could be the network, not just the cast, that ends up paying the price. Meanwhile, Bambi's silence has now been interpreted as guilt by most fans. Her lack of a public response, apology, or denial has left a void that everyone else is filling with their own conclusions. Even her former allies in the cast are starting to distance themselves. One anonymous source says that multiple cast members have privately expressed frustration that Bambi brought this level of chaos to the show without warning, potentially damaging everyone's brand and storyline. And Stevie J, still ducking the public eye, is said to be holed up in Los Angeles, working with a crisis management firm that's trying to spin this into something salvageable. Their plan reportedly includes a potential sit-down interview, possibly with a major gossip outlet, where Stevie would admit to poor decisions, deny intentionally hurting Scrappy, and insist the relationship with Bambi was short-lived and accidental. But insiders say the damage is too deep for a simple PR tour to fix. The audience isn't buying it. The fans have already chosen sides, and for once, Stevie J is the undisputed villain with no meme-worthy comeback to soften the blow. In a shocking development, multiple sponsors affiliated with the show have allegedly begun reevaluating their involvement due to the backlash. One source from within the advertising team claimed that companies were caught off guard by the intensity of the public reaction and were now concerned about associating their brand with a scandal involving alleged deception, emotional abuse, and betrayal filmed inside a cast member's home. That's not just drama, that's potential liability. Some are even floating the idea that this might trigger a ripple effect across the franchise, where other cast members begin examining their contracts for protection clauses in case more behind-the-scenes secrets begin to surface. Adding to the chaos, it's now being reported that Bambi and Stevie J had allegedly discussed leaking the pregnancy news themselves during the reunion episode as a way to seize back control of their narrative and frame it as a mistake turned into growth. That plan obviously imploded once the DNA results surfaced without their permission, triggering a tidal wave of rage from Scrappy and a scramble from producers. But now that the reveal is out in the open, sources say the reunion episode might be restructured entirely to focus on the fallout. Some cast members are allegedly refusing to film unless security is tripled, while others are preparing their own receipts to avoid being caught in the collateral damage, according to a crew member. Everyone's scared. It's like any second someone's going to snap and the cameras won't be able to look away. And if that wasn't enough to set everything on fire, guess who else is now involved? Mama D, Scrappy's mother, who has never missed an opportunity to deliver a dramatic one-liner, is reportedly in talks to appear on a popular podcast where she plans to air out the truth as she sees it with names, dates, and details. One production insider said bluntly, "If Mama D speaks, it's over. She knows too much." Rumors are swirling that she's furious the show didn't protect her son, and that she's been sitting on information for months, waiting for the right moment to unleash it. If she goes through with it, the consequences could be catastrophic, not just for Bambi and Stevie, but for the producers who allegedly allowed this scandal to unfold without intervention. No one knows how this ends. Bambi is still quiet. Stevie J is hiding. Scrappy is barely holding it together. Mona Scott and her team are reportedly rewriting entire production schedules in real time. And the fans, they're watching, waiting, judging. Whatever happens next, it's clear this isn't just the biggest scandal Love and Hip Hop has seen. It may be the one that finally breaks it. And now that the dust is still settling and the cameras are still rolling in silence, the question we all need to ask is, what happens next? Does Scrappy walk away from the franchise for good, or does he return with a vengeance, ready to confront the betrayal face to face? Will Bambi ever speak her truth? Or will her silence become the final nail in her storyline's coffin? And Stevie J, does he come clean? Or does he do what he always does? Disappear until the smoke clears. This isn't just about cheating. This is about betrayal, manipulation, and how far people will go to stay in the spotlight. We've seen messy before, but this is a reality TV catastrophe wrapped in secrets, silence, and scandal. The question now isn't whether the truth will come out, it's how many careers, relationships, and reputations will be destroyed along the way. So now I turn it over to you. What do you think? Is this the end of Bambi's reign in Atlanta? Can Scrappy recover, or has this broken him for good? Is Stevie J ever going to stop leaving destruction everywhere he goes? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't hold back. This story is too wild for silence. And if you want more deep dives into the chaos nobody else is brave enough to cover, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because in the world of love and hip hop, the drama never sleeps in. Neither do we. Stay tuned.